Rotaract is, in my opinion, one of the jewels of the Rotary crown. And during the next few minutes, I'd like to share with you some thoughts on how Rotary might better utilize this incredible resource and pool of extraordinarily talented young individuals. Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation, each with their own boards and governance structures. Whoops, excuse me, I turned 2 pages at once, that's not good. As you know, we have over 207,000 Rotaractors around the world and over 9,000 Rotaract clubs. We also have over 8,000 Rotaract club sponsors. That is an extraordinary number, and an extraordinary number of young professionals who are doing good in the world. And it is a resource that Rotary needs to do a better job of encouraging and cultivating. Now, as you know, I officially started as Rotary's new General Secretary in July of 2011 and spent the first 6 months on a listening tour of Rotary. I started first by getting to know Rotary headquarters in Evanston, and as you know, there are approximately 600 employees in Evanston and 200 in our international offices and our Information Services Development Center in India. We also have 2 legal entities, Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation, each with their own boards and governance structures. So there was clearly a great deal to learn. I've also spent a great deal of time reaching out to Rotarians outside of Evanston, attending institutes in Illinois, in Milan, Reston, Virginia, Dallas, Calcutta, Brisbane, Australia, and district conferences in my home state of Michigan, Washington, D.C., and elsewhere. I visited Rotary's offices in Zurich, Delhi, Sydney, Sao Paulo, and Buenos Aires, and numerous clubs in the U.S., Switzerland, Italy, Rome, India, and Australia, just to name a few. And mind you, he did this just in the past about 7 months. And in each town or country that I visited, I tried whenever possible to meet with Rotaractors. And I must say that I have been extraordinarily impressed with the Rotaractors that I've been able to meet. Whether in the US, Europe, Asia, or Latin America, and I'm sorry, but I have not yet had the chance to visit Rotary in Africa, although I'm sure that my impression would have been the same. I have been incredibly impressed with the passion, the dedication, and the quality of Rotaractors. In fact, with respect to one Rotaract club that I met with, I came away from the meeting feeling that it would be an absolute tragedy if every single member of that Rotaract club did not become a Rotarian. It was truly an impressive group of young professionals. However, these meetings with Rotaractors highlighted a number of themes and observations that seem to appear consistently around the world. First observation, again, the quality, passion, and dedication of Rotaractors is incredible. You certainly could feel it in this room today. Second observation, the desire of many Rotaractors to become Rotarians. You want to become Rotarians. You joined Rotary because you believe in the values and principles of Rotary, and you want to continue promoting and living those ideals through membership in a Rotary club. But this desire was often thwarted by a number of factors. First, there generally seems to be a dead period from when one leaves Rotaract and the age at which many Rotary clubs would be willing to accept former Rotaractors as members. In many countries, you leave Rotaract at, say, 30, and then have a gap of 10 years or so before the local Rotary club will invite you to join. This is a huge gap, and my sense is that many Rotaractors move on and get involved in other organizations. Thus, there's a significant issue of how do we give Rotaractors a better and smoother glide path to become Rotarians. Second, even if it were easier for Rotaractors to make the transition from Rotaract to Rotary, as young professionals early in their careers, very often the cost structure of Rotary is prohibitive. Third, even if the cost issue could be overcome in today's world, It is very difficult, for example, for a young attorney in a large law firm working enormous hours with a mortgage and small children at home, with a long commute, to spend 1.5 hours each week at a lunch or a dinner. Fourth, the generational and age divide between graduating Rotaractors and the members of many clubs. On the one hand, many Rotaractors have told me that they would love to join a local club for the networking and mentoring opportunities, yet others have indicated that the generational and age difference sometimes makes it difficult for the aspiring Rotaractors to find much in common with the club and its members. Does some of this resonate with you? Yes. So the second observation is that many Rotaractors want to become Rotarians, but that this desire is often thwarted by a number of factors, some of which I just outlined above. My third observation: there is a great desire on the part of Rotaract clubs to have more meaningful relationships with their sponsoring Rotary Club and with other clubs. And here I'm not talking about the desire to join a Rotary Club after Rotaract, but the ongoing and the day-to-day relationship between a Rotary Club and between a Rotaract Club and Rotary clubs. In particular, I sensed a keen desire among Rotaract clubs to engage more meaningfully with Rotary clubs on projects and have that relationship to be one of joint partners. Not one where the Rotaractors are viewed as cheap labor or grunts, but as partners working together in a meaningful way on projects where the relationship is substantive and consistent. Yeah. So what do these three observations mean in practice? From the perspective of Rotary, it has to do with a critical issue facing our great organization, and that is membership. In some parts of the world, membership is growing. In others, it is flat. And in some, it is unfortunately falling. But I am encouraged that the RI Board has authorized the creation of 12 three-year regional membership plans, recognizing that one size does not fit all.